Salute to everyone who's watching today. Welcome back to Dominant. Today I just wanted to do a review on an article that I found out. And I didn't read it. Um, what I really want to talk about is the biological war because I've been talking about the biological war so much, and some ladies they still think that the biological war doesn't exist, and I'm trying to manipulate them in order for them to accommodate men and say that you think because we say we don't need men, there's a notion that you need to come upon and start to realize that we don't need y'all. But as after I've seen a lot of videos on TikTok about ladies, after when they have reached the biological world, realize that it's actually a real thing. I want to talk about it. So the topic is that what is the connection between your biological world and fertility? So this article is from Helpline, and yeah, let's just jump right into it. So just about every one of your cells tissues has some type of internal clock. These timers sends dark light and other daily cycles. They function in response to these rhythms. All of these biological clocks are coordinated by the primary synchronizer, your brain. So let's go. What is the biological wall? Fertility changes over the course of your lifetime. The term biological wall refers to the fact that it is generally harder to get pregnant later in life. And this is something that I've told you before that when I say advice, I said that secure a family at a younger age. And I never said anything about just having a child because what's the point of gaining a child if you don't gain a husband? So I told you that between the ages of 18 to 27, get married, secure your child, secure your family, and get pregnant as much as possible between those ages. Because once you reach after 27, it's going to be harder for you to get um, children. The considerable scientific evidence that the number and quality of both eggs and sperm decline as you age. But the idea of the biological clock has come to symbolize the sense of psychological pressure you may feel when you haven't had a child by a certain amount of time. So there was one Instagram live video when I remember a girl reaching the age of 30. She was childless and single, and she said that her body is screaming to tell her that it wants to be pregnant. And I was like, what the hell is going on? But now I can see that it is actually true. In 1978, the Washington Post revealed an article by journalist Richard Coleman called the ticking for the career women. I actually want to see this article because it sounds interesting. So let's see. I've been talking about this for way too long. Sometimes you just need to hear from other people's perspective. The clock is ticking for the career women. I've been telling you, ladies. So there is an entering. I need this right now. So composite women, actually several women at different times just come to lunch. She's entering in the restaurant. She's pretty. She's the pretty one, dark hair, medium height, nicely dressed. Now she's taking off the coat, blah 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 blah. Is there something wrong? Compassionate woman says, I ask again. Is she says nothing. Finally, I do that you can talk to me a bit of the record absolutely. I want to have a baby. Sometimes the composite woman is married and sometimes she's not. Sometimes horribly there is no man in the horizontal. Let's go here. They say a few, but it means nothing. If the mood hits them to have a baby, they will adopt from them. You will get a message. There are already two many children in the world, which is something that I don't agree with, that there are too many children in the world. So I want to see something, maybe, because this sounds like more of a story than anything else. But anyway, proves my point that it described a composite woman who has spent most of her fertile building her career instead of having babies. This composite woman sat at her, looked down at her midsection, and ate over her choices. Through, oh, not through. Though career opportunities for women have grown and infertility treatments have advanced at age, many people still feel pressure to have a child during the most. I've been telling you those things. You should have it. You can go on the medical whatevers. Those things are not as safe as having children naturally in your most fertile years. It can be a source of intense anxiety, especially if preparing for your career has left you with little to pursue parenthood, or if in your life frequently question you about your reproductive choices. So, according to a 2011 research review, other reasons women may postpone having children may be due to the inability to find a suitable partner, which is absolute garbage. And I don't agree with that, and I'll tell you why. Housing and economic uncertainty. Okay. The rise of cohabitation before marriage. This one I've been telling you all along. The more experience with is the more the less ability you're going to be able to get to to get a suitable partner, because you're gonna find it difficult to pair. Women with experience are a turn-off, because they will start to have preferences. They will always compare you with their previous partners, and that is a turn-off for men. Increased divorce rates. I disagree with this one, because as I've said before, and I did a review on it, the increase of divorce rate is caused by a lot of women because of certain reasons. They start to become delusional. Social media has influenced them to want something in marriage that is not there. Like, marriage is a perfect thing, and they don't want to submit and subject to their husband. And when they, you know, a lot of things, a shift in norms and values, which is absolute nonsense. So the inability to find a suitable partner. The reason why I say that is nonsense is because, like I said, the fact that these days people are so obsessed with dating a lot of people, especially men. They start to gain preferences. They start to want to do things late. You understand? But in this notion, I want to speak to women. Women would want to experience first before they actually get a partner. And one of the things that they do is that they think that they're gonna find a suitable partner later in life, because the biological war, they have been brainwashed to think that it doesn't exist. And unfortunately, it does. What is considered the peak of age of fertility? Just as women start and stop menstruating at different, the peak of fertility also differs from person to person. Most people say 23. The peak of the woman's fertility is between 18. It starts from 18. So most people said 23 was the ideal age for first pregnancy, and by the age of 49 would probably be infantile. In that study, education, race, and influence. Although scientists do not agree on the specific age, as I've said, the consensus is that fertility peaks in the early 20s and begins to decline age 32. It begins to decline at the age of 30. After 37, many women would find it harder to become pregnant. For many men, um, fertility begins to decline in their 40s. Yes, it starts to decline maybe after like 45, but when you are 50 and 55, you can still have a baby if you if your woman is still fertile. So this causes women to be unattractive, because when a woman is less fertile, she becomes less attractive to men. And that is why when you reach after 30, men, the quality of men that you got when you got from 20, they decline. They are not the same. You can get them to yank you and sleep with you, and they don't have a problem doing that. But taking you seriously, no. What causes fertility to decline with age? When a female baby is in the womb, they can contain as many as 7 million eggs in their ovaries, according to ACOG. From that point, the number of eggs drops steadily and naturally over time. By the age most females reach puberty, between 300,000 and 500 eggs remain. Wow. When menopause arrives, it usually at the age of 51, then the ovaries may contain around 1,000 eggs. So the health of your eggs and the level of reproductive hormones in your body also decrease over time. As the time you risk certain conditions go up as you get old. Ladies have been telling you all this time that you should always do that. So statistics published by the CDC show that around 12% of people between ages of 15 don't get pregnant after they've tried for a year or carry on. The main symptom of not getting pregnant if you're having sex without using birth control. So, let me not go into the men for this time, because the men is a whole different topic that if you think about it, you will realize that men are affected differently from women. So, what is the point of the video that I just did today? The point of the video is that, ladies, when you reach 18, when you're after high school, when you're going to university, one of the thing that fulfills you the most is you having a husband and raising a child in wedlock. That's what fulfills you. And you can tell me about guys not being serious and whatnot. There are men who are serious. The problem is that the men that are good, that are serious, you have been convinced that they are not good for you. You have been convinced that you should go for the guys which are roller coasters, and those who are going to give you they're gonna make you a single mother. They're gonna, by the moment that you wake up, you're gonna start realizing that those guys are bad for you. So, in as much as you want to have the bad boy is not gonna take you seriously. She's gonna get you into the streets, and he's going to use you, and he's going to leave you. And when you are run down, you are going to think that you deserve a certain caliber of guy that is the same as the guy that you could have gotten when you were at the age as young as. I see this with my own parents. My mother got married when she was 20 years old. What does that tell you? My father married at 26. So what does that tell you? And they're still together to this day. What does that tell you? When you're a man, you settle down when you have nothing, when you're not there yet. When you're a woman, you settle down when you are at the peak of your beauty. Because the moment that it falls, you're not gonna get there. I don't believe that you're going to get. I don't actually have to believe you're not gonna get the same caliber of men that you could get, that you can get in your 20s once you reach your 30s. So give this video a big thumbs up, subscribe, and comment below. Check out my article in the description. Can homosexuality be cured? Always remember /tag XOSO just you out.